My boys, don't panic, man. You got all worried now. All worked up. Career advice, man. There's a lot of young people following us. Both ladies and guys, Jones, by the way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wanasema wamesoma mass comm lakini hapati kazi, amesoma computer science ama sijui biotech engineering, I don't know what, and there's no work.
Yeah.
And obviously even before corona there was no work, and then corona came and now
there's no more work.
Yeah. Swept all the jobs available in the country.
Yeah.
But I'd like to just try and inspire guys through your journeys, because I know your individual journeys. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
And just talk about your journeys. Like Francis, you started as a designer again, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, graphic designer, that's how I started.
Hizi simu za jobs inakuwa ni shida tu yani, acha.
Yeah, talk about career. Wacha watu wa kazi wakai.
Bana, watu wa kazi bana wanashinda kwa kutafuta pesa full time bana. Hii maneno ya staki. Not answering.
After session.
So I started out as a graphic designer, worked my way up, eventually quit the employment sector, and I developed my skills to whatever I am today. I do a lot of stuff, a myriad of stuff that are all under the umbrella of creative communication. That's what I do. But these people unasema ati wamesomea nyef wameenda wakasoma wakanini wakana hao watu by the way wanakuanga na upuzi.
Ni mfala.
This is what I'll tell them.
True.
If you cannot employ yourself, who can employ you? Kama umeji-interview uko na hata wewe mwenyewe, you can't hire yourself. Who honestly should employ you?
I've never thought of it like that actually.
That's a smart way of doing it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, misplaced sense of self-entitlement. Na I don't blame them so much because walidanganywa. Kwamba hoi na watu watanikasirikia hii. Walidanganywa ati education is the
key to success. Buddha, that's a reality, man. That's a freaking reality, man.
Shule si mbaya. I normally tell my kids and my nephews, if you go to school, go there and have fun and learn how to relate with other people. That's the top skill you get out of school.
That is key.
Hii ingine is neither here nor there. Ted, people need to understand education ilitoka wapi and how it is rigged to create taxpayers. Education has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with government. Because they are training a force of taxpayers. Because if everybody was a business guy, the serikalis, the governments will suffer in as far as tax remittance is concerned. Because as people get wiser and smarter, they know how to
avoid
legally get reimbursed. Yeah. Let me leave it at that because that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
Okay. Sasa hawa watoi wa degree, I have a degree bana, you know what do you know who I am? Yeah. They would come to, and I've interviewed so many of them, and I'm sure Ted you have.
So have I.
I mean, I have too.
They believe they would come to your office and put their papers there, and their papers will speak
over backwards,
and the papers will speak on their behalf.
That's nonsense.
Alafu we came to job pale. Cricket.
How do you do this?
How do we open a new document in Adobe Illustrator? What is a DAW? You know,
Adobe Illustrator.
You see, what's a DAW? You know, wanakuuliza. Unaona unashindwa ule. Who is your mother? Unashanga what the hell? Hii shule mnaenda kufanya nini? Ni kutupa mawe ndio mnaenda kutupa mawe huko.
No, it's true.
So me, I'd like to in fact, I would always I'll tell them, and I would advise some parents of the young guys. Take them to technical training schools, because those
they're no longer there, mate. They're no longer there.
Find them, take them there, because those ones focus on skills. TVET centers, all those things, they focus on skills.
Skill
And
based.
once you have a skill, you need to empower yourself with more knowledge on how to convert your skill into money.
How did you move from microbiology all the way to Manwa Mjengo? How did you manage that?
Let me tell you, my journey was messed up from the word go. All along, I wanted to become a medical doctor. So I thought to myself that I needed to have the grades to become a doctor. I mean, I came from the frame in life whereby you're being told that X, Y, and Z careers are the ones that are going to propel you to success. And so I grew up knowing this thing. I mean, it's something you and I have been fed this all along. You've been like, you know what, you need to become an engineer, you need to become a pilot, you need to become a doctor, stuff. I lived through that. And I'll be very honest, I wasn't very, very, very book smart. I was not book smart, but I was street smart. So I let me not even lie to you. I flunked my KCPE. Like I got some really, 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 really bad grades.
I thought so.
My year, well, boss, I pay your bills a couple of times, homie.
After ushajicheka, endelea tu na story bro. Ushacheka.
So check it. So I'll be honest with you. My generation was the first one to sit for the 5 out of 500. I mean, you guys already making money that time. Mimi nearly scored 275 out of 500.
Yes, so
primary.
Boy.
You get that time to get into a decent high school. You get and I made my way to some other very, very, very nice school that my parents found out through a friend of theirs, which they thought was like really awesome, and it wasn't. And fast forward, I finished my KCSE with a really good grade. I even surprised myself.
Wow.
And then I went to campus, and then I did microbiology. All this time I was thinking that probably it would exonerate me from some credits now to enter into med school. But it wasn't the case. I flunked my first year and I had to redo it again. I graduated with a degree in medical microbiology. And I did my internship in Nairobi Hospital. Let me tell you, it took me 4 months in Nairobi Hospital to realize that I don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm not cut out for it. It's not my thing. That time, I'd already started doing my other businesses on the side, and I was raking in some money. So I was like, see, I'm making my cash. Yeah. So what's the point of really pushing on with me trying to prove myself to a corporate giant to look like I am, I'm cut out for a task. I don't need that. And then I left without a plan, without any notice. And I remember that day I told my folks that, you know what? I've left Nairobi Hosi and I want to venture into business. Of course, there was a shock of, we spent all this money on you for what? You know that? We spent all this money on you. Like, we've taken you through all the stages of school for what? But I can tell you this, my folks were supportive. Though not actively, maybe passively. I went into it and I started running my things. Dude, I have been through hell and back trying to establish. And in my hell years, I have established relationships, destroyed relationships, failed terribly, miserably. So bad that the day that I was saying I do to my wife, I was in the gutters. Proper. But how did I get to be a man of Mjengo, right?
Yeah.
My dad provided an opportunity for me to work in his farm. He's an engineer. And he used to send me on assignments to various establishments to do this and that. Now, this is what I can tell you. A buildings contractor is a businessman in the construction industry. He's not necessarily like a properly qualified person. He has all these people who come under him that are qualified to meet every requirement. But he's the businessman. And I learned the ropes from my old man. And I took it. And in the process of just explaining myself to various people, because I was doubling up between two things. I was a car guy. I was your local car guy, by the way. I was a guy who would take your car to take it to the Mex because I know a cheaper way that you could actually achieve a certain target, a certain goal, and, you know, just sort of play my cards. And then
car guy, you mean mtu wa mkono?
Mtu wa mkono, makani buda, acha ni ikubali tu vile makani car. Let me tell you, that's why I told you. Remember I told you guys one thing. I love working with my hands.
Your hands,
There's such satisfaction in doing things like handling tools, you know, tearing down pieces and building them up.
The problem is this generation, this current generation does not want to work with their hands.
It only ascribes to the blue chip kind of a thinking.
Which I feel is really, really, really wrong for a generation, because, you know, you still need people who are going to go into construction, into your local plumbing, into your local
people.
You do need them, and they're not stupid. They're actually very, very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And for a nation to move forward, you need industrious people.
Yes.
We are losing the industrious people and leaving book smart people.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that this young generation, they just do not see that you can make a hell of a lot of money doing other stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell people is this: your gifts and talents are always going to feed you.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, I was very much like you. I was Mr. Tinker. So I would go when my old man has left the house. He leaves his stereo. I go, I put the cassette, I figure out how does this. I don't want to listen to the music. I want to see how does this thing move. How does it make sound?
Yeah.
You know, how do all of these things operate?
Yeah.
And I would break a couple of things and I'd get beaten the hell out of it. Or I'd decide I'm going shags to go see my grandfather because
we all went through the beating,
kuna kitu nimeharibu na isaili itajulikana patakuwa na kesi. You know, and I realized that I like to make stuff. I like to create stuff. Along the way, I realized again that I wanted to go into fashion. But at that point, there was a lot of stereotypes of fashion designers are gay. So I was like, I don't want to be seen as, you know, some type of way, but I actually do like it.
Yeah.
So I ended up going for a soft cushion, which was graphic design, because, you know, there were the posh guys.
Yeah.
You know, you're designing designing menu cards and stupid things like that. Like, you know, Najita, gig when graphic designer.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I moved into music, and then I moved into other things. And training comes along the way.
Yes.
It's your gift and talent has to drive you to want to understand these tools I have. How can I make them work more for myself?
Yeah.
And nobody's going to teach you that. I've had young people who've come to interviews, and they have degrees in media, and I asked them, so what broadcast format does Kenya use? And they hang. It's like being asked, what are the national languages in the Republic of Kenya? And you don't know. You understand?
Yeah.
You're not dead, Let me help these children.
Help them. Dispense. Where's that thing of yours of dispense?
Let me help some urchins.
Wow.
Buda, gocha. Buda, umekana mlami mgani hii wiki?
Lami ni ile tuko hapo nje. Number 1, I want to redefine some things. A literate person is not someone who's gone to school or these universities. A literate person is someone who is able to unlearn and relearn what is in their, what they have been taught.
That, bro.
Yes, true. Well, I don't have a glass, but cheers, man. Yeah.
First, you need to understand what literacy is. Discard and trash all the things you've been told about who is literate or not.
Yeah.
Number 2, if your business is not on the internet, you are not in business.
Amen.
Right now? Yeah, definitely.
Amen.
Definitely.
Okay? You need
Well,
to understand that.
Guys,
Hiyo, tutafanya
mine is
baadaye.
not. Mine is not.
Yes. And you will realize, talk to me.
Have you ever?
Huko nyuma ya tent. Talk to me nyuma ya tent. Nitakuelezea.
Have you ever thought about how much more money you would make if you were online?
I mean, I would. I did. That's the reason of establishment of websites and all these things. I mean,
then number 3, you need to understand that there are people who are good in school.
Yeah.
And there are people who are good
in life.
At life.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
People who are good in school still brag about the fact that they know that X was found somewhere in Githurai.
Yeah.
We were looking for X for a very long time. Find the X. Yeah. They are still looking for X.
Finding X. Yeah.
The X's we came to discover are those ones we discarded in our relationships. Yeah. That's
Find
the
X.
Yeah.
You found X.
So now the ones who are good at life.
Yeah.
They understood what literacy is, and the biggest talent, or rather, let me just call it now for lack of a better term, is people skill. The most important skill is people skill. Okay? Once you understand those two, you'll be able to maneuver around. Yeah?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Watu hii wanafaa wajue hizi vitu. Yeah?
Kweli.
But I'm not in any way saying that school is bad. School is great. It's important. It gives you a platform to actually learn those two things, especially the people skill, kwa sababu utakutana na watu wa upuzi huko, utakutana na watu wanaelewa kitu kidogo huko. Yeah, it will give you a certain platform. Go there, but maximize it. Yeah.
Kinyo, what would you advise people?
You know what? Francis is talking the thing. Like, this guy is on element.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, relationships run the industries. Most people think that when you come off your graduate school or you go and get this kind of a job, whatever, it should automatically qualify you to the next. People should take the time to establish relationships. Ted, I'll make a very good example right here. We usually talk about bags, right?
Yeah.
And there's one time I told you, I don't buy bags from you because it's a product.
Yeah.
Preferably so. Let's just call it what it is. It's not a product that I need to have my life be what it is. But it's because it is the perfect opportunity for me to establish a relationship with you that can take us from point to point and point. Right? People need to know that every career index, every career in its establishment is a what? It's just a platform, but the relationship is what determines how well you sail. So
I hear a lot of men say this. A lot of deals are struck in the bar,
on the relationship table, on a social table.
So it's not in the bar.
On a social table, it's not just in the bar. It's in those dinners that you go for. It is in that one round that you go for, planting tree somewhere. Sijui Francois we ni aje pu wacha nikamu tupeleke dingako ikasavisiwe pale ifo. Some very basic things. Let me tell you, if I meet you in your element, if I meet you in your corporate or whatever establishment, I will not be able to get right to the persona in you. But if I come to you at a point whereby you've let your guard down, and you can be vulnerable, then we can talk.
So must I have a drink to be vulnerable?
You don't have to have a drink to be vulnerable.
Do you think some people fake it too much to a point where now they're they're in the bar trying to just cheers and buying 15s and 18s? Do you think there's a hype about this whole relationships thing that people try and hype up and they end up actually burning themselves out?
The biggest mistake that's
because a lot of people are fake up in the street.
Yeah, the biggest mistake that's happening right now is, you see, like for example, you walk into a bank, there's a position called a relationship manager. Right?
Bullshit.
I'm waiting for that. A relationship manager, yes, he's been employed to do his task. But let's face it, a relationship cannot be structured. It has to be organic. Organic. I can't pay you to have a relationship with me. What kind of relation? You'll burn out, man. If you realize that our characters don't cross paths at some point, then what happens? You burn out. You fade away.
True.
Just the
If
way
at all-
slay queens burn out.
Exactly, the way slay queens burn out. After asha realize hii mfuko nimeikula, maximum limit yake ni 20,000.
How did we get to slay queens, man?
Because slay queens, they are paid to give us relationships.
So those are your relationship managers.
So sasa ndio uchali yako na relationship manager.
Mimi sasema
Niko confused.
Umse by the
Hata line of thought imepotea, bro.
This guy
Fine,
has his own way of thinking.
usiende kwa slay queens.
Usiende.
So check it. This is the thing.
Wacha kuchange topic. Ulikuwa unaenda kwa slay
Umeenda
queens.
kwa slay
Wewe
queens.
unanirushia na umse ndo mea story ya slay queen. Rudisha kwa ngamia. Ngamia ndio inakuangalia hizo maupuzi.
Hebu nikuulize. Do you
So-
think a lot of people fake this whole, let me go to the bar and drink with my friends so I can strike that deal?
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
Ted.
of course, definitely.
Kwa mfano, if you knew the who's and who's of the who's of all who's
Sawa,
are
who
meeting,
mwenyewe.
yes, are meeting the who's in Nairobi club. Si utajipeleka huko? Utajikwatua, utaprint business cards, utaomba gari, utatokelezea, yeah? Uta adjust accent,
Lakini si wewe ndio
utavaa
ulikuwa-
suti,
lakini
Kabla umeadjust yako leo.
lakini si wewe ndio ulikuwa like don't fake it, just be you.
That's why I said kuna watu.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
So unaona? Haufanya hivi. There are those who fake it.
True.
Do they make it?
Nah.
You see, those guys,
Do they make it?
they never make it.
You want
Let me
some,
tell you why.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Ted, you have been on the receiving end of those fake people's business cards.
Yes.
And you can tell.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
You can tell. Uchali amekuja hapa kuniuzia ceramics.
Anakuzia hewa.
Call me sometime. Call me sometime.
Call me.
You know,
tomorrow.
we do mambo mingi.
With the
You know,
Watus.
yeah, with Watus. You know, we are involved in building people's monetary nyefs of all things.
You know why?
And you know these things when they, kwa mfano, the other day we were doing an episode about money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuko na pesa, si ati hatuna.
Kwa sawa?
Tuko na systems zetu. Till today, Kinyua, Ted, myself, we get texts, SMSs of people who want to connect with us so that they can use us as a stepping stone to the next
Regularly.
opportunity.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know them, yeah?
Yeah.
And you can tell who's genuine and who's
not.
fake it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones who fake it, you have nothing to. In fact, you delete them as fast as. I mean, you that's why I always tell people: if you fake it, you will never make it, because there's people you're faking in front of. They already know you're faking it.
Of course.
Yeah? And you won't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
That's why ni warudishe kwa topic Kenyua. Wachana na slay queens.
Sasa slay queens wameingia wapi na biashara anyway?
Wanna fake it.
Wewe cheki.
You're faking it.
Nani amekwambia mimi nafuata slay? Mimi nina
Wewe-
bibi mrembo.
Wacha hiyo mambo.
Kwa nyumba.
Wewe unafikiria hizo rasa za kweli?
Ayo. Sina kuagani zile nini za Dubois room. Zile.
Unajua kuna chali mwingine nilisikia akisema kwa Kiswahili wanasema walikuwa wanasema I don't know if I'm getting. Sikiza. We, sikiza. Kuna chali nilisikia akisema kwamba alinikumbusha methali inasema maskini akipata matako ulia mbwata. Wewe umesikia mbwata zozote huku nje? Hakuna mbwata tumesikia, na matako zile ziko huko ni mingi.
Zote.
Ni kubwa. I was expecting mbwata. Kama vile Sabika amepata, wewe unafikiria kungendaje?
Aya, Buda. Siaje story ya Vera.
By the way, ukichunguza sana huko Beirut, ni slay queen alipata kitu. Hiyo ilikuwa ni mbwata. Hiyo ilikuwa ni mbwata, my friends. What are you talking about? I'm tired.
Dude, let me tell you, there's one thing that I consider a scam in this market.
Yeah.
By the way. I consider it a scam.
Yeah.
And I am not mincing my words. It's a scam. You see all these things called networking forums, where you pay some certain fees to access a certain group of people, clique of people that you are going to connect with on a business platform and prepare to the next and the next stage. Now let me tell you, I mean, like every opportunity, there are people who sail through. But let me tell you, there are people, majority don't. It's just a scam. Ni biashara. Ujamo sema scam. It's a scam. Sindio? Listen. Why should I pay for an environment to come and meet you?
I shouldn't.
When I know that there are all these other platforms that would give... Boss, you're human. You're on your socials 24/7. You try to talk and post your life and all these things that are happening and push your product. Those are the perfect opportunities for you to meet with somebody. Somebody approaching me, for example. I'm a buildings contractor. I don't have a product I'm putting out there for people to buy, you know, and stuff like that. But I'm accessible through my socials. The way I know people who are here on an opportunistic scale, and I know people who are here because they genuinely... Okay, scratch it. Ted, how did I meet you?
Through socials.
Through social.
Yep.
Why? Because I was intentional in knowing the person, not the product with the person.
Exactly, which actually brings me to the point.
Yeah.
Do we need the alcohol? Do we need the bars in order to let our guard loose and discuss as boys? When we're having these relationships, you see, these are relationship moments for us where we're bonding. We're having these bonding moments.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it possible that we do it in Karura or a place like that? Is it possible that we... What do you think?
It's possible.
Say, Ted, tuende Karura tuongee mambo gani?
Vile si ubonga.
Huko kuna nini huko Karura kwa miti?
Kwani huko kuna nini?
Ted, huko kuna kakitu. Ted, wacha hiyo mambo yako. Ted, unaniangusha.
Lakini Francis hapana. Acha nimshemae. Wani Julia Fred Karura.
Karura wachia wazungu na baiskeli waende kufanya biking huko.
Na wewe?
Can I tell you, hata hii biashara ya Kenya hii. Ni bia, ni pombe ndio inalitanga biashara. Ted, do you know sometimes hii bia inakulegeza, tunapiga story. Kwanza tutaongea kuhusu wanawake, pesa, pombe, ule akona nini, ule ana nini, tucheke tu, you feel comfortable with me. Then nikwambia, by the way, kuna hii kitu. Tukitengeneza hivi, tufanye hivi, tupige hivi, hii milioni kadhaa itatoka.
But wanaume wanatumia hiyo avenue kuchocha watu wanapotea.
Sasa wao wanapotea, unajua mtu ule iko bound kupotea, atapotea tu. What is the problem? Kwani watu wangapi wanapoteanga? You forget about them. Unajua mtu ule ako supposed kupotea, atapotea. Hata ukimshika mkono, atapotea. Waachana nao watu. Tena waachana nao. You know, kwanza kuna certain bars tunajuanga deals zupigwa. Sidas huko, sijui nini. Watu huko ndio deals zinapigwa. Hata serikali sometimes inatengenezangwa kwa bar.
Yeah.
Serikali.
Ukweli.
Wanasema wewe utachukua ministry of this, wewe utachukua finance, mimi nitachukua ile ya sex workers, mimi nitachukua ile ya nini, alafu mambo inakwisha.
Inaishi hapo.
Boda inakoneza thrive hapo.
I'm telling you. Karura wachie wangari madhai. God rest us all.
Tumemwachia. Okay. And the show has been called to the end. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, bro.
As always.
Shantagria.